Hey everybody, Valk here. Bringing you something a little different this time. Once in a while, I do some volunteering and also play in a Pokemon Draft League, the NSCPL, the Not-So-Casual Pokemon League. I haven't been live commentarying my games thus far, but I've just finished my Week 5 match, and I thought I might bring you guys all 5 games back-to-back in one video, with kind of a post-commentary. At the start of this season, I decided I wanted to do a sort of soft gimmick, a mono-generation draft. A good friend every season switches which generation he's allowed to pick Pokemon from, but I wanted to do something a little different and pick one Pokemon from each of the 9 available generations, plus a Mega. I started out with Dragapult from Gen 8, Primarina from Gen 7, Tangrowth from Gen 4, Skarmory from Gen 2, the best Pokemon of all time, Snorlax for Gen 1, Clodsire for Gen 9, Thundurus Incarnate for Gen 5, Hariyama for Gen 3, Mega Houndoom as my Mega, and Meowstic to round out Generation 6 because quite frankly Generation 6 is horrible. I did end up free agency trading away my Thundurus Incarnate for a Thundurus Therian, and dropped Tangrowth and Meowstic for a Gourgeist and a Gallade to fill in the regions. I do love Tangrowth a lot, but when you have a Skarmory, it's kind of hard to bring. Originally, the Tangrowth was supposed to pair with Iron Treads, which would have been a lot less overlap, but it got sniped. The Week 1 game is what we're going to start off with here, versus Ruffles, and I've loaded my team up onto the screen here. They are all nicknamed after various snack chips to bring the maximum intimidation versus his inferior Ruffle-based chip. And the main things to be afraid of on Ruffles' team are a Automatizing Celesteela and really the speed boost Blaziken. It's horrifying, really. That's why we have Aqua Jet on Primarina to pick it off as long as it's not full, and Sturdy Skarmory with Brave Bird to try and just take any hit and kill it in return. We got Boots on the Skarm, so we've got Rocks up, we maintain our Sturdy. 2 outs versus the Blaziken are really important there. Now, this Week 1 game did happen, like a month and change ago now, but we will go into the replay and I'll post-commentate it and kind of go over what my thoughts and stuff were at the time. So here's our replay. He leads Crobat, I lead the Prim. The Primarina is not really important to keep full HP as long as I can keep the Jet maintained. We're just going to flip turn out to our Thundurus, who did get free agency'd away later in the season. We U-turn out, he U-turns out, it's the gentleman's handshake, right back into Primarina. I don't think that this Crocodile has Gunk Shot, and I'm right, so we flip turn right back out again because pivot moves are the best moves in the game. Drop a Thunderbolt on Celesteela and paralyze it, unfortunately. Feel a little bad about that. Sorry, Ruffles. He clicks Automatize, and, well, it doesn't go too well for him. Crook comes back in. We U-turn out. It's actually faster, my bad. It was a Speedy Crook and murders us. The Clefable comes in. It gets Sparkling Ariad for very little damage. Our Snorlax is kind of custom built to deal with this stupid Clefable, though. As you can see on the team screen, that Snorlax has some heavy slamming to do on this Clefable, and some body slamming to do on this Latias, and it takes 57 because Snorlax is a very good boy, quite frankly. Even Crook at -1's taking 33, it's getting body slam paralyzed. You feel a little bad about that, but like, you know. He crits us with a knockoff, so it's like kind of even. My boots are gone, which is a little unideal. Crobat U-turns out against our Skarmory. Blaziken comes in, which is horrifying. We're back up to 88. You're like, oh god, oh, it clicks Flamethrower, not Flare Blitz. I roosted thinking I'd survive the Flare Blitz. Not a great play on my part there. It starts getting its speed boosts up. Things are bad. We go Prim to try and stem the damage a little bit and Aqua Jet this thing where it'll probably die from an Aqua Jet plus Life Orb. Ruffles knows this, so he's going to swap out right back into Crobat. I know he's leaving because he doesn't want to lose his Blaziken, so I flip turn back out into Skarmory. Crobat air slashes me, which is... it's a Crobat. What's it going to do versus Skarmory at that point? Clefable comes back in. I get some of my own rocks up. Kind of valuable for shipping that Blaziken further down, and I can go into Snorlax. He drops a Thunderbolt on my Skarmory. Thankfully, Snorlax takes it like a champion. Crocodile comes back in, intimidates me again. The para is a little meaningful here because, like, it might have made him a little scared. It does get the full para there against the Snorlax, but he does, again, crit me on the Stone Edge, so RNG give it and RNG take it away. I definitely made out favorably there, but Snorlax is coming right back in on this stupid Mega Latios, who is Dragon Dancing. Horrifying, but Snorlax is a champion. Doesn't care about your stupid Latios. Gonna body slam ya. Blaziken comes back. I say, Snorlax, you gotta get out of here, bro. That thing's a fighting type. It's very scary. He knocks off my Primarina's leftovers. Bringles the Primarina. Not long for this world. I'm gonna flip turn out again, because I still don't think he wants to lose his Blaziken. Right into my Dragapult Doritos, who is a special Dragapult for this one, and is dropping Thunderbolt on that Crobat. Baton passing out to avoid the horrifying prospects of a Pursuit Crocodile, who would kill me on U-turn, but not on Baton Pass. Snorlax is going to make the Clef go to sleep. The Clef is going to stay in, put rocks up for some reason, not sure. I probably shouldn't have body slammed there, because I could have paralyzed it, which would have made my sleep not work. But we do just heavy slam the Clef to take it out. Sentitas the Snorlax, putting in work. And here's Blaziken. At this point, I say, Sentitas, you deserve a good rest. This Blaziken's getting his speed boost up. It is too late because we do have Aqua Jet maintained on our Primarina still. Doesn't really matter how fast you are. You can't outspeed a Jet. And you're at -1, and you're going to Life Orb chip. Even if the Aqua Jet did not kill here, we have enough Mon differential. And that's our week 1. Week 2, my matchup was against Know Our Names, or Piao, a good friend. As you can see, we have Sao, the Skarmory, Drow, the Dragapult, Koi, the Clodsire, Piaya, the Primarina, Houo, the Mega Houndoom, and Hayai, the Hariyama. Main things I'm kind of spooked about on Nora's team are the Darkrai, obviously. I mean, I have a Dragapult. It is naturally faster, but Pursuit Darkrai is horrifying. Just generally terrifying to a Dragapult, even if on a U-turn or a hard switch, because I don't really do that much to a Darkrai. It's a Dark type, I'm a Ghost type. Gliscor is always a little bit annoying, obviously. Like, I do have Choice Specs Prima to do a lot of damage to it. It can't do a lot to Skarmory, thankfully. I have Whirlwind to deal with any kind of major setup Glisk, and it's not toxic stalling a Skarmory. But it would definitely set up on a Clodsire and make it have a bad day. He does have Slowking plus Arctozolt for that really scary Slush Rush combo. Always something to be aware of and, try and stop. I do have a Mega Houndoom that after one Flame Charge does outrun his Arctozolt in the snow. So that's what Huo here is here for. And Assault Vest Hariyama just here to kind of deal with Darkrai a little bit, take a hit or two, and kind of hit it back really hard. And yeah, that's the team, so let's get into the Week 2 replay. And we should be on my viewpoint. So he opens up with Slowking. Future Sights gets immediately beamed by a Specs Energy Ball, which hurts a lot. He switches into Sylveon. I go into Houndoom and plod in its face. It Baton passes right into Darkrai. I'm like, shit, what if this thing is Focus Blast? That's very scary. So I run away like a coward into Primarina. He Sludge Bombs, which is a really good call on my Prim. It crits me, which is not very friendly. Moonblast the Slowking. It has to leave because it can't sit in here and take Specs Moonblast. Sylveon comes in and it can take Specs Moonblast. Okay, at least. 43 is not great, but Baton passes again. This is the most pivotty Sylveon to ever pivot. I see this Gliscor and I say, what are you going to do to me? Unless you start setting up. But I would like a single layer of Toxic Spikes because your team hates being poisoned. He Swords Dances on my Switch, which would be scary, but I do have a Skarmory. Only taking 28 with my leftovers knocked off. I'm putting up rocks too. He Swords Dancing again, and I'm saying, see ya, Gliscor. Hello, Arctozolt. You have boots on. That's scary. In my mind, he's not going to click Bolt Beak there because I have a Clodsire. I thought he was going to click Blizzard when I would survive. Instead, he subs. If he had clicked Bolt Beak there, he would have killed my Skarmory, obviously, and that would have been very sad, but wasn't too bad. I just was pretty sure he wasn't clicking it with Clodsire still on the field. Gliscor comes back. As long as I have a Skarmory, Gliscor is just never doing anything. I'm going to get 14% back up on my Clodsire, which is very important to me. And go into Skarmory, take 19 from a +2 knockoff, which is just not doing a lot. I'm going to Roost in his face. This Gliscor cannot touch Skarmory at the moment. He's going to knock me again. I'm going to whirlwind him out, right back into Darkrai, who is taking more Stealth Rock damage and poison damage, which you love to see. I go Hariyama on the Darkrai switch. He misses the Will-O-Wisp, and you might have noticed in the team preview that I am Guts Hariyama, and that miss is about to be highly consequential, because I predict the Gliscor and click Ice Punch, but because Nor missed his Will-O-Wisp, I did not get to do damage to the Gliscor and kill it, which is just... Oh, if he hadn't missed his whiff, that Hariyama was gonna cook, man. It's so sad. Now, you might notice I can't really do anything to the Gliscor either, but I can Whirlwind it out on the Protect, bring Slowking back in, who, like, actually doesn't really want to be here. He's gonna click Future Sight. I'm a Dragapult. I'm just gonna click U-Turn on his Sylveon, switch in. Or Hex, actually. Yeah, that's fair. I do misclick here and U-turn out to my Clodsire on this Future Sight. I meant to go Houndoom, but, oopsie! You're unfortunately gonna have to Thack here because I'm not gonna go hard out to something. A little bit of a problem. Sylveon dies to Rocks. I Flame Charge, it fails. Slowking comes back in. I Dark Pulse. I flinch him on the Chilly Reception, which is pretty bad luck for him, but he did crit me earlier this match. It survives on 5 with the Flame Charge, and it does successfully Chilly out. Gliscor comes back in, and I say, alright, Protector Earthquake, I'm bulky Houndoom, I'm gonna plot in your face, whether you protect or you EQ me. And now we're about to see Mega Houndoom kinda do some truly heinous shit. It's a +2 Mega Houndoom, it's faster than his whole team. He tried to double protect me, which is rude. Very rude. Darkrai comes back in, dies to Dark Pulse at this range at +2. The snow is over, Arctozolt comes in, dies to Dark Pulse. Slowking comes back in, dies to Dark Pulse. And Kingler, the threat in the back, who does not learn Aqua Jet, dies to Dark Pulse. My Week 3 game was versus JOJ, or Jodge, so we have TOT, the Thundurus, SOS, the Snorlax, also SOS, the Skarmory, COC, the Clodsire, POP, the Primarina, and DOD, the Dragapult. Things to be really scared of on Jodge's team, obviously, are the Mega Lopunny. Tinglu and Finny are really annoying together because you obviously can't status Tinglu while Misty Terrain is up. Finny in general is just an enormous threat. Sinistra has potential to just be a cheesy matchup fishing bastard once in a while, and Typhlosion Asui is always kind of scary as a pocket, like Scarf Eruptioner in the back. Dear viewers, I would like you to look at his Pokemon and predict which one of them ended up being a very large problem this match. Because I don't think you're going to get it right. I have a Skarmory for his Mega Lopunny. As long as I keep this Skarmory alive, Rocky Helmet, Mega Lopunny's not that big of a deal. Unless... Getting into the match, I open with Dragapult, and he goes to Lop. I actually hard switch out rather than U-turning, because I know he's going to fake out for chip on my Dragapult with a Scrappy. We do get some chip on the Lopunny, which is pretty great. I'm going to set up spikes on his switch, and here's where shit went bad, dear viewers. Golem is Magnet Pull. Did you know that? Because I didn't. So my... My poor Skarmory, who was supposed to be my Mega Lopunny counter, goes down very early into the match, and now we're kind of in trouble. Iron Treads comes out. I'm like, he's gonna probably Rapid Spin, so I try and Spin Block. He knocks my Dragapult, which is very bad. I fire off a Will-O-Wisp. He switches in Tinglu. Wisping the Tinglu is not terrible. It's pretty good, actually, for what it's worth. I'm going to Darts it because at this point I'm a 13% Dragapult, and I don't think I'm going to survive Stealth Rock, especially not now that he's put spikes up as well, and life is kind of bad. I Shadow Ball thinking, I don't know, maybe he's going to switch into Finny. He didn't. I have TOT the Thundurus here. I'm going to knock off his lefties just to stop that passive healing. He's going to cut my HP in half with Ruination. I did pack Superpower on this Thundurus specifically to kill Tinglu, so that did work, and it did kill him. Iron Treads comes in. Probably should not have U-turned on it, probably should have just Superpowered it again, but here we are. I did block the spin by sacking my Dragapult. back into Snorlax, and I'm thinking, well, maybe SOS can kill this thing with a big Earthquake. It Earthquakes me for 50, which, dear God, is a lot of damage, and I crit it for 74 and still do not kill it, which is horrible. I'm starting to panic. I switched to Thundurus on the Rapid Spin, which is not good because now it's faster than Thundurus. It's knocking off my Thundurus. Life is a little horrible at the moment. I go into Primarina, and I'm like, bro, this is bad. I'm gonna Protect to Scout the Earthquake and to, you know, heal just a little bit off my leftovers, hope that that's enough to survive. It is. Thankfully, freaking Iron Treads gets out of here. He brings in Tornadus Therian. I Protect again just to try and, you know, get a little bit of leftovers back before he inevitably is going to knock them off. Only does 8%, which is not too bad. I'm gonna start setting up Calm Mines because I do think that CM Prim might be able to do a little bit here. He goes right into Tapu Fini, who's another, you know, wet fairy that is a demon in the Calm Mining department. He's going to click Taunt on me, which is very annoying. He's already beating me, and now he's taunting me. I'm gonna start draining kicking him just to try and, you know, get some damage on this Fini, but he is kind of winning the war here because he's got leftovers, and Fini is naturally fatter than Primarina by a decent amount. I'm like, oh god, this thing is +2/+2 at this point. It's taunted me again. I'm just gonna keep draining it to try and get as much of my HP back. But now I'm like, he's gonna hit me. So I'm going into my unaware Clodsire on it, on his own Draining Kiss. It's only doing 6, which is pretty great, actually. He's going to taunt my Clodsire again, which, yeah, well played. I guess I should have just kept swinging, because Toxic might have been nice here. Clodsire is eating pretty well. He's poison jabbing the Fini. No poison proc, but don't really need it. Would have been nice, but we do kill the Fini with the second poison jab. 2 kind of mid-rolls there will take it out. Now, I don't have a Skarmory in the back anymore, and that is a Mega Lopunny. And, yeah, this thing is going to clean me up pretty badly. I'm like, maybe he doesn't know Snorlax has extreme speed, but no. Unfortunately, it does not, and I do not survive. Actually, sorry, I do survive 1 return, so if I'd still had my leftovers, I might have been able to kind of get enough back up to defeat this, freaking rabbit, dude, but no dice. We do lose this one. Closer than I thought it would be after getting absolutely goobed on the opening turn with my poor Skarmory. Getting sacrificed to the Magnet Pull gods, but that is what it is. Here's week 4, where we have immediately taken advantage of our free agency trades going into effect. We have Dunga the Dragapult, Tunga the Thundurus Therian, who I actually traded Thundurus Incarnate for with Chunga, as you can see on his team there. Gunga Thunga, Gorgai Super, Punga, the Primarina, Skarmory, the Skarmory, I forgot to nickname him, I'm sorry, Skarmory, you deserved better, and Gunga the Gallade. So I've actually brought all 3 of my new Pokemon to this match for this week. Kind of hoping to go in with them. We have Scarf Gallade because Scarf Heatran is really scary and just generally good to deal with, like unburdened Sneasler, scary stuff like that. Thundurus Therian should on paper 1v1 Thundurus Incarnate due to having Volt Absorb versus the Prankster. Dragapult's just good in general, and specs on it should do a lot of damage. Gunga Thunga, the Gorgai Super, is actually here for one thing and one thing only, and it's to 1v1 the Sneasler. To use its own Grassy Seed in Rillaboom's grassy terrain to kind of boost up its defense, and then click Psychic on the Sneasler to 2-hit KO it. Primarina generally is just good at sitting in the back with leftovers and clicking Calm Mind and trying to win the game late if it can. And Skarmory is Skarmory. This Skarmory probably should have had some offensive coverage on it. As you can see, it's entirely tauntable and just doesn't do any damage outside of Toxic, which might prove a problem later. Into the week 4 replay versus Chunga. I got Wooper in my Rampoke, so I do think I won. He taunts my Dragapult immediately and just gets U-turned on. We go into Tunga versus My Loyal Sir. We Volt Switch. He stays, which is surprising. He U-turns on us. Into that Muck. This Muck. I tell you what, this Muck's annoying. It knocks off our leftovers immediately, which isn't ideal. I cleared up my stealth rocks, and it starts clicking Fire Blast. Why does this muck have Fire Blast, dude? Like, specifically for Skarm, obviously. It misses one. Very scary. It's got Drain Punch, which, well, that's actually doing very little. I Whirlwinded out. Miltank comes in. Miltank's also a fat cow bastard. It sets up its own rocks. I put Toxic on it. Not too bad immediately, but it's gonna body slam me. I'm going to Whirlwind it and try and get something else. This is a Mega Altaria, so it is going to be taking Stealth Rock damage. Thankfully, it fire spins me and Perish Songs, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I don't think he knows that I can Whirlwind out of this, for what it's worth. He wanted to trap this Skarmory, and I'm just like, no, get out of here, dude. Leave me alone. Do not Perish Trap my Skarmory. Thank you. Muck is back and annoying. I'm going to die if I stay in at this point, so I go out to Tunga, and unfortunately I get knocked off, which my boots, my fashionable shoes, I kind of needed. He just stays in, and I probably should have, like, Volt Switched here, rather than just dumping special attacks into a Muck, but yeah, I thought maybe he'd leave, and he didn't. We bring in Scarf Gallade versus this Miltank. Psycho Cut does pretty decent damage, actually. And probably should have stayed in and clicked it again, quite frankly, because if Miltank drops a body slam, but it's going to continue healing and being kind of annoying generally, and milk drinking and just being obnoxious, and not taking very much toxic damage because of my own whirlwinding it out. Muck is drain punching me for a little bit of health. He did get a decent chunk back there because he did it on my roost. I am starting to get a little low on those. Miltank comes back again, and is unfortunately about to get rid of its toxic. Just not great. Could not kill this stupid cow, dude, for the life of me. Who knew Miltank was so fat? Heatran comes in on the rocks, and I'm like, oh no, why is a Heatran in here on my Skarmory, dude? It clicks Flash Cannon on my Primarina, which doesn't actually do as much as I would kind of worry about it doing. There's Rillaboom, and I clicked Scald, kind of figuring it would come in and really hoping to get a cheeky burn. It did not happen, but you gotta try, you know. Grassy Glide, here's where I really threw. I thought he was going to U-turn into his, like, literally anything instead of Grassy Gliding me. I figured he'd U-turn on my Skarm switch into his Heatran and have a good day. Instead, he just whacked me, and yeah, that does not go well. I start missing Power Whips. I cannot kill this cow, dude. Yeah, just like going back to this turn really quick, right? I'm thinking, okay, he doesn't want to Grassy Glide me because I'm just gonna go into my 73% Skarmory. He's going to U-turn on this, you know, Prim, which will be a Skarmory, so that he can bring in Heatran, because Heatran kind of can click on my whole team. No, he just Grassy Glides my Primarina because he really wanted that thing dead, I guess, and that's horrible for me. Really bad. I eat my Grassy Seed. By the way, the stupid Sneasler wasn't even here, which is just lovely. I do 44 with a Power Whip, which isn't enough. This thing is healing a billion. It's drinking its frickin' milk. I'm missing Power Whips. Life is bad. It's not Sap Sipper, so I can hit it, but it is Scrappy, which means it can hit me, as you can see. It crits me through my defense buff. I'm psychicking it, hoping I can do something to this stupid cow, dude. It's not going well. I could probably try and stay in here and Power Whip it a billion times. At this point in the match, after I lost that Primarina, I'm starting to tilt a little bit. It's not going too well. I'm still just like, God, this thing has 5 more milk drinks. I got 7 more Synthesis. Do I really want to sit in here? The answer is yes. I should have just sat in there and kept Power Whipping it, probably. Yeah, I was very, very tilted at this point in the match. My Skarmory gets paralyzed on the switch. We just send Muck right back out with Whirlwind. Go to Dragapult. Here's another really bad decision, going Dragapult on the Fire Blast. And I'm a special Dragapult, and this thing is taking 0 damage from literally anything. I Shadow Ball it. It does nothing. Yeah, playing full tilt at the end here. I bring in Scarf Gallade at this point just to try and kill something, you know? Lock myself into Sacred Sword. Not going to be able to kill the Altaria with Sacred Sword. We go Gourgeist because it's kind of a sack at this point. We found it's Altaria Knight. Good thing we know it's Mega Altaria now. Hyper Voice just solidly 2-hit KOs. We bring in the Skarmory, who is not going to do a lot at this point. I think I'm going to try and Toxic, but I get paralyzed. Fire Spin misses. It does get Toxic. It doesn't tremendously matter at this point in the game, but we're like, you might as well try. I Roost. I'm like, well, let's just try and get some Toxic damage on this bird, dude. Hyper Voice is going to kind of hurt if it clicks it at this point, but it's not going to. I Whirlwind Heatran back out, Thundurus comes in, life is bad because it's faster and it still has its boots on. I go into Gallade and I gotta pick one move to lock into at this point. He misses T-Wave, which is something, I guess, but Psycho Cut is not going to 2-hit KO this Heatran from full, unfortunately. Shy of that, and I didn't really want to click in the Sacred Sword button because it would not have killed the Thundurus. And Rillaboom would have Grassy Glided me regardless, but yeah, that's the end of that match. And finally, the most recent game of the season, Week 5 versus Jack Trooper and his Avalugg Agenda. I got a little tired of naming my Pokemon after my opponents at this point, so we actually went with a Monster Hunter theme this week. We got Ibushi the Dragapult, Kirin the Thundurus, Somnacant the Prim, Gothorog the Gallade, Gyarados the Clodsire, and Bulbadon the Gourgeist. Obviously, the enormous threat on Jack's team is the Ursaluna Blood Moon, because if that can get some Calm Minds up, it can kind of win games. Assault Vest Gallade is very much here to deal with that, but also just it has quite good clicks into a lot of Jack's team. Latias, Ursaluna, Sword of Empoleon. I mean, as long as Empoleon's not faster than my barely speedy Gallade and clicks Scald, it makes me sad. But Pheasantipity, Avian is just very solid against Jack's whole team here. And I have move slots for most of what I would need. Clodsire is just here to put out some spikes and kind of sit against Empoleon. We are Water Absorb rather than Unaware, because even if we were unaware, Ursaluna Blood Moon is going to Earth Power us and hurt us greatly. Primarina is a flip turn, Scald set, really just kind of here to answer Arcanine a little bit, as long as we don't get Wild Charged. Pivot out on it, hopefully invite Empoleon in so that I can flip turn out on it and get something in that scares Empoleon. Gourgeist is here to answer what is actually, in my opinion, the biggest threat on Jack's team, and that is Pawmot. Pawmot clicks really well into my team, and honestly, Pawmot clicks really well into most teams. That thing has almost every coverage move it could want, and it hits surprisingly hard. We have Revival Blessing banned in this league, but even still, God, I hate fighting Pawmot. Every time. So Gourgeist is here with a helmet to hopefully synthesis against its ice punches and have it slowly die. We are a sub-DD Dragapult, as you can see. We are EV'd to be taking Sludge Bombs from a Mega Venusaur. Not a completely max Mega Venusaur, but a decently special attacking Mega Venusaur. Just so that we can put a sub up on it, it won't break, and we can start getting our D-Dances up and kind of rip through its team, ideally. Last thing to really mention is that the Primarina, other than being the Arcanine answer, is also a luring voice to stop specifically Calm Mind Latias, because Calm Mind Latias, if it gets behind a sub, is kind of an enormous problem. You know, darts might not immediately break the first hit of the sub, and then we're in trouble. So, that's my team, that's Jack's team. Let's get into the replay. So, Arcanine doesn't show up. Immediately, I'm like, yo, sick. That's fantastic news. We lead our Primarina, we get Rocky Helmeted by this Empoleon, I'm like, what the heck? I have a feeling he's going to switch in that Corsola Galar, who I didn't think was going to come, but it does immediately loses the Violite to my knockoff, and I'm like, let's go, dude. He puts up Stealth Rocks, which is kind of surprising, but not too bad. I Earthquake it for 14 and do very little damage to it. Mega Venusaur comes in, I click Toxic, I'm like, oh no, this is horrible! I go into my Thundurus, he misses Sleep Powder, thankfully. 75 accurate moves, dude. Psychic with my Expert Belt does 48. He does remove my Expert Belt, unfortunately, but he's still not dying. He is healing. I'm just going to clicking Psychic on him because I want the damage. Click Psychic on the bear, it does very little. Click Grass Knot on the bear to do a lot more. And kind of end up just sacking Kieran here to stop that bear from setting up any Calm Mind shenanigans. Primarina comes right back out, Empoleon comes right back in. We click Scald on it just in case that bear stayed in. I didn't want to have something stupid happen, like it living a flip turn. That would have been scary. He's going to switch back out to Venusaur because he doesn't want to lose the Scald Wars, and it's kind of revealing that this might be a bit of a physical Empoleon if it's leaving like this. Gallade is in, and I'm going to start clicking Psycho Cuts. This Corsola without its Eviolite is not taking that very well anymore. Latias comes in, and it's going to start setting up in my face. And here's where the Calm Mind Latias starts to be scary. And here's where we click Alluring Voice to say, stop doing that. You're a bad person, and I don't want you clicking Calm Mind. It hits itself, I flip turn out, get pretty favorable RNG on the Confusion tier, to be certain. But it's what I brought it for. I brought it here literally to scum this Latias out of being able to set up in my face. Dragon Darts is going to do just enough to kill this Latias. Thank God. Threat down. Venusaur Mega comes back. I do start Dragon Dancing in its face. It has knockoff, so, yeah, so much for Special Venusaur and me setting up on it, but at +1, Dragon Dance is going to take out that Venusaur, and we're going to be pretty happy, generally. Empoleon comes back in, and I sub in its face because I'm not sure what it's going to do. It clicks Triple Axle on me. What? And it does break my sub, and I'm like, dear God, why is this frickin' bird Triple Axle, dude? I go hard out into Primarina. Horrified of that. Thankfully, I will eat Axel pretty well with my Prim. Not too scary on the Emp now. I'm going to click Scald on him, and I'm going to burn him. He's going to click Scald on me, and he's going to burn me. We will shake hands as water types that click Scald on each other. Obviously, it matters a lot more for him than me because, you know, he's physical. I'm going out to Clodsire at this point because he's burnt. What's he going to do to me? And I'm going to start clicking buttons. Ursaluna's coming back in. I'm just going to Earthquake it. It can't kill me from full, even with a Blood Moon! That did 34. Shred the Straw Man! Shred the Socrates, perhaps. And here's Pawmot, and I'm like, oh, why Pawmot? Why is he here? I take rocks damage. We find a Salac Berry on him, which is like, why is this Pawmot Salac Berry? What is he doing? We're going to just send this in this thing's face like it was designed to do, to kind of just let Pawmot be its own undoer, really. As long as it doesn't freeze me with this Ice Punch, which would be not good, not maybe game-ending, but quite scary. I later asked, I guess this was Endure Salac Pawmot to be faster than Dragapult, which, that's crazy. I'm horrified. I'm really glad that didn't happen to me. We Power Whip it to finish it off here. Empoleon comes back in. It's going to Triple Axle my helmet. 1, 2, 3. Take a lot of damage. It's going to get Poltergeisted. It's going to live on 4, and it's going to die to its burn. So yeah, that's the first 5 weeks of the games here, folks. If you would like to see any of them live, let me know, or if you like this post-commentary, maybe I'll record the other one's post-commentary. But yeah, Pokemon Draft League, it's fun sometimes. Very tilting sometimes. Thanks for watching. Take care.